Welcome to this webinar on how to use the Proactively mobile reporting system. How are you today?
I'm good, thank you. Okay. I'm very interested to get to know the features.
Fantastic. So could you start by telling me a bit about the problems that you're facing in your company?
Well, I find it difficult to motivate the people to report actual issues because they're mostly busy with other things, and then they don't really want to write it down first and have notes and rewrite them later into a mail or another reporting tool. It takes them too much time, gets forgotten, doesn't get done.
Yeah. So you're using paper for reporting at the moment, are you?
Yeah, or people just send mails to each other to report anything that needs change, and then it disappears in the sheer mass of mails.
I can imagine. And how do you process that information? Are you using spreadsheets?
Yeah, for like issues that are all going to departments, they try to organize themselves. We're trying to build up some sort of ticketing system, but it's not really achieved yet. We don't have a software tool specialized on that. So people just write down notes, have Excel files, trying to get an overview of what is at hand.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. So
needs improvement.
So you're looking for something that can give you much more real-time information so you can take those actions quicker.
Yeah, accurate data would be good, and also complete data, because if everybody continues to do what they're doing right now, we never know how much percentage we're actually getting back to the right department to do what needs to get done. It's just like it can end up anywhere. It doesn't wander to a centralized place where somebody can make decisions.
So we're looking for much better control over your systems that you have at the moment, but without the paperwork and the boring bureaucracy that's...
Yeah, sounds like a dream if I could have the overview and the complete data.
Okay, in that case, let's have a look and hope that this is what you're looking for. So I'm going to now show you the Proactively mobile reporting app. Right. So we're going to use the QR code to get the mobile reporting app. So if we show it on there, and you can see on your phone, I can see that it's already done that, it's got the link to open the app. So now get the mobile app.
Oh, this is to get your app quicker?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's download that. That's nice and quick. It's going to let it use the camera, and then we press on the QR code button and we show it back again. Now that happens so quickly that you didn't see it, but you have to, when you've got the QR code come up, you press the QR code button and it'll show you the camera, and then you show it to the QR code again. So the first time we showed it the QR code was to get the mobile app, and then the second is to link it into the company, because obviously you want the data that you send to go to your company and not go off somewhere.
Obviously.
Okay, so now luckily I can see, by the wonders of science, the screen of your phone in my screen.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, right. So let's have a look and see what we've got on here. We've got, imagine that this squirrel is going to be your company logo, so we can label it for you, and then you know that you're in the right place. And we've got some clickable links here. And then we have a list of the forms that you can use. This is all customizable, so you can change it to what you want. So now, would you like to choose one of those reports, perhaps the hazard report, and send it in?
Okay, I'll try to report.
Okay, that first, are you safe? Now imagine that you're in you might be using heavy machinery. You don't want to cause problems. So if you just start with that.
I'm safe.
But so reminding people that they should be safe is good. Right, so this is the hazard report screen.
I saw some chairs blocking the entrance.
Okay.
Chairs.
Have you set up something for us, Timothey?
I need to see how this process works. I'm just going to report some random issue.
Okay.
Just blocking the entrance.
While you're filling in that report, I'm going to talk about a few features that there are in this mobile app. So you can see the star here. That means it's a required question. So if you've left that blank, then the form won't send.
Is that what you call an asterisk?
Asterisk, yes. the star. So what will happen is if it's not filled in, it will turn to red. Another thing that we can see, oh, yes. Okay. Another thing, we can see these info buttons down the right-hand side. So sometimes it's not very clear what a question means. So you can provide some clarification, provide some examples in there. So if you just click in that screen again, the help will disappear. Okay. Keep going. Yeah.
Okay. It tells me more about what I need to fill up.
Yeah.
Where is it?
So this is all examples. It's just been put as a standard site. But we can. Okay. You're going to clear those chairs away.
Well, let's say nothing has been done yet.
Okay. So it's not safe. Do we need to do more action?
So if this is on, it means the
But
problem
it's
is
safe.
corrected.
Yeah.
Well, that's not happened. More action is needed, yes. Someone should clear the entrance.
So the idea behind this reporting system is that you should clear those chairs away.
Yeah, in this case,
rather than
I will
having
take
those
care of the problem.
slippery shoulders that, yeah, the idea is to try and get people that are have the responsibility for clearing it for themselves. So it's a security issue. Okay. Now, if you turn the phone so it's horizontal, then it'll make that box a lot bigger, so you can sign it. I know you're just using your finger to sign that, and it probably doesn't look a thing like your signature, but it's quite a benefit that when people sign things, they generally take more care about what they've written on the form in the first place. So in the system, all this information is collected and time, date stamped, and then that's your legal backstop. But this signature helps encourage the people that are filling in the forms to do it properly. Okay, report sending. Thank you very much. Right, let's have a look in the system now and see if it's appeared here. So we're going to the report section. Oh yeah, chairs blocking the entrance. So I can open that up now and have a look at the report. Oh, there's your chairs. Do they look familiar, Timothey?
Yes, still there.
Okay, yeah. And I see that something needs to be done. So now in the overview section, I can write a cause, lack of storage. And we can say when we want the report to be closed out. And I think, well, do you know what? You should have cleared them. So let's
critical.
Okay, right. So actions now. Add an action. Clear the chairs. I'm going to assign it to, just for the sake of this exercise, I'm going to assign it to myself, although I think you should do it. Right, and so now we have an action there. You can see the action is open. Now, if I go to, so now I can look at the action. I can go and clear those chairs away and change the status to it's resolved. I can see that I've received a notification. The notifications come in German because my system is set to German. So let's now have a look at the actions, and it will take. So now, if we go back into here, we can see that the status of the action is closed. All right. I can add some notes into it. Let's say the move. Save. I can, for example, say that I want to, I don't know, do regular inspections. Okay, right, now if we look at the history tab, we can see that the report was created down here. We can see that we opened it and we discussed the cause of the problem. We created an action and we closed the action.
Now you get the
So
full history.
all the history is in there. It's all time, date stamped. So that's
so this
all
one
in
is
there.
resolved, right?
Yes.
Is
this
it
resolved.
going to be in history once it's resolved?
Yes. Yes, it will stay there, so you can see exactly who's done what as well. So I'm the person who was assigned the action, and I'm the person who has closed the action. So if you had any issues, if you were an auditor and you were coming to have a look at this, you now know who to go and talk to if you can see that there's a problem, that it wasn't effective or something. Okay. We can also go into the overview section, and we can now close the whole report. So I can go and see and make sure that, in a week's time, have those chairs come back again and are blocking those exit again, or have we actually found a long-term solution to it? And when I'm happy that we've got a long-term solution, then I can close the whole report. So now the whole report is closed. So we've got two stages. We've opened the report, we've opened the action, we've closed the action, we've verified that the action is effective, and now we've closed the whole report. Okay. So if we have a look on the dashboard, we can see how that information has fed automatically through into the dashboard. Here, I've got the number of hazards year to date. So you were making a hazard report there, and it's a new demo system, so we've only got 5 hazard reports in there. Different sorts of reports that we've got good practice reports, and we've got accident reports. We're particularly interested in how many times the reporter themselves fixed the problem, because what we're trying to do is get people take responsibility for the system themselves. So you remember there was that question about, have you fixed it yourself? Mm-hmm. Well, that's counting that. So here at the top section, we've got just counting the number of reports that have come in. Here we've got a different sort of question. We can click straight into reports that are particularly of interest to us. So for example, here in the accident report, this is an interesting one to open, because one of the unique features that we have is confidential encrypted information. If you're reporting an accident, you'll be familiar with sort of personal information, GDPR requirements, that information needs to be kept safe. So you can see these asterisks, these stars here. The person who's injured, I can't see their name. I need to have the encrypted key, so only certain people with permissions will be able to see that information. So that's interesting to see. We can also draw different graphs. So this is a time type of graph where January, February, March, we can see how many hazard reports were made each month. So for example, you might have objectives within your organization, and one I saw last week was that they wanted to have 30 hazard reports each month. Well, on our system here, we've only got 2 a month. So we would know quite early that we weren't meeting our objectives and be able to do something about it. A different sort of graph. Here, you remember you answered the question about how worried you are about the risk of having the blocked fire exit. Well, here we can count, we can see from the reporter's opinion on the level of risk that there is there. So that information is coming to the graph. And here as another type of graph, when we've run a training course, I've asked people to grade the course, and you can see that we've run 4 training courses, and this is the scores that they have. So we can collect all sorts of different information in the dashboard, and that's very easy to edit. So all I need to do is click on it, and I can edit to make it suitable for what I want. If I want more graphs, then I just add a row, and I can add. This is quite good to be able to edit the dashboard in this way, because obviously different people are interested in different things. So it might be that you're over the whole, onto an overview of the whole organization. Yeah. Oops, I'm sorry that we get the mobile app comes up again and again. So you want organization wide, or you want site wide, or you're the sales manager and you want just the sales department, so you can break down those different levels of detail. Or perhaps you're an operations manager where you want the reports for the last week, or you're a more strategic overview and then you want the quarterly reports coming through. So different people want different things showing on their dashboard, and this editing function gives us the ability to do that.
Seems very useful for management.
Yes, I think so. Right, now let's have a look at the app design, because it's very customizable. So I'm going to find the hazard report. So this is how the hazard report looks that you filled in. So I'm going to just make one quick change here. Let's, for example, stick another question here. So I'm going to put, this is a field name. So all the information that you collect gets put in the field. And so the field name needs to be unique for this form, because we're going to collect all the information under a box called time. So let's make the question. And we can put some help in and some possible examples. It could be 1 o'clock, or it could be 2 o'clock, or it could be 10 o'clock. Okay, I'm just before we go, let me show you these English, German, French. So you can put different translations in for different countries. Right, now look, so we need to, because we're playing with the system, we need to manually refresh the form like that. And now if we open the hazard report form, the very first question says, what is the time? So just the one that we saw, it's come in. And we can do that, and we can go on and fill in the form. But let's now get rid of that.
Seconds to create a new form.
Exactly.
I mean, that's not something that usually happens when you use Word or anything else.
Yeah. Let's now delete that question because it wasn't a very useful question. Right. And then go back to the mobile app. We'll refresh to see if it's changed. Hazard report, and the what is the time question has disappeared. So that's how quick and easy it is to change the form. So what I'm suggesting is that you'll start with some standard forms, and we can bring standard forms into the system for you, depending on whether you want to be reporting hazards, good practice, accidents, inspections, you know, whether you're a construction site or a manufacturing site or an office. We have lots of different standard forms in our system, so you're not starting from scratch. But when you get that form, you can then customize it. So for example, on our hazard report form, we're trying to be very user friendly. So we said, how worried are you? And you can say, I'm very worried, or I'm not worried at all. I just wanted to let you know. It could be that you have a more formal system than this, and you want to ask people what the level of risk is. Is the risk high, medium, low? Is it scored 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? These are very common depending on what approach your company takes. So you can customize that yourself. We can help you at the beginning setting it up, and then you can, as time goes by, you can customize it.
There's just like such a sheer amount of possible uses for these types of forms. Like I could use it to report issues with my computer, or with safety.
Yeah.
Anything. If my IT department needed a new ticketing system, maybe could even consider using it. Yeah. I don't even know where the end is of possible uses. I could create any form.
You can do. It's easy to start simple and then build on it. So certainly have companies that are using it for productivity type issues. Because don't forget, you can report this with your mobile device wherever you are. So as soon as you see something, you can go out and you're working on the manufacturing shop floor, and you see something, you can send in issues for quality, for environment, for security. So yes, the range of uses is very, very wide, but it's probably best to start simple with a few things, get the hang of how the system works and what you really need to do as an organization, and then grow from there. So I would start off by,
yeah.
I like that you're very excited by it, but start simple and then grow from there. I want to quickly show you, you remember that I got a notification, it came on my email about that the action had been assigned to me. Now, in the settings tab here, we can look at notifications. So what I want is to receive the notifications that are important for me, but I don't want to get all of them. So I can unclick the ones that I don't want to receive, and then just say the ones that I want to do. And perhaps I want to not receive all the hazard reports, but only the ones where the risk is I'm very worried, or potentially only the ones that are from, if I'm the sales manager, from the sales team. So you can customize the notifications so you only get the ones that are important for you. What we don't want is flood, bombarded with notifications, and then you don't bother reading them because there's just so many.
Okay, this is kind of my filter settings.
Yes, yeah, can you see them? Yeah,
yeah.
Good. With the system, do you have any questions?
Yeah, the notifications are arriving via mail on a preset mail of any user that is part of the system, right?
Yes.
And then if some task was assigned to me, I would just see it when I go to my workspace and receive a mail. And then if I click on it, I basically see what my next step is, what I have to do.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And then you can close it. You can close it from there, and it gives you good transparency over what actions have been taken and what are outstanding. So it's very quick to then filter and see how many actions are still outstanding and which ones you need to chase. So what we're trying to do is those meetings that you were talking about before, where you go through this enormous action list and say, have you done it? Have you done it? And it becomes a bit like a nagging exercise and is very demotivating. So those will become a thing of the past, because you'll just be able to see in this system what has been done, what is outstanding.
Yeah, and it's apparently time-stamped, so you see when something has been done, and you don't just, I mean, I will get a report via this tool on the dashboard immediately if something is done. I don't need to wait for the next meeting, apparently.
Yes, yeah.
Sounds like a relief to keep track of things.
Well, this is the idea. It's meant to be making your life easier. So, yeah, and more streamlined. And the idea is to save you some time that you can then get on with actually making a difference. So, trying to get away from the boring admin and doing something that's more worthwhile.
I have 2 other questions. Can you use it to report something else like quality issues?
Yes. So it's very flexible. You've seen how the form designer works. So we start off, most of the companies that are using this at the moment are for health and safety issues, but they very quickly get the hang of the fact that there's a lot of other departments that want to be reporting things directly from the workplace, and that could be quality issues, so non-conforming product on the production line, or goods in, and it could be environment, so the recycling's been in the wrong bin. I'm talking about negative things here. I think it's very important to be positive as well. So you saw there was a good practice form there, so you can also say, yes, you've got a very tidy work area, the recycling is very, very good, and take a picture of that and reward people for it.
Yeah, we can have a lessons learned practice with that.
Exactly.
All the departments could profit from best practice of each other.
Yes. Sharing best practice would be a very key learning from this. Yes.
Can I use it offline if I don't have a network?
So there's 2 parts of the system. You've seen using the mobile app, which was the bit that you got with the QR code. The mobile app can work anywhere. So it could be, for example, that you're, I don't know, that have you got a cellar, or you're working out in a field or something, and there's no network coverage. The report, you'll be able to still save it on your mobile phone, and then as soon as you're back in network coverage, it will automatically upload into the system. So you don't have to worry about it again. As soon as you've pressed save and send, if there's no network coverage, it will store it and it will go automatically. The other part of the system, which is where you manage the data, that comes over the web system. And so for that, you need to have network coverage. But generally, when you're managing the data, you have access to a network.
Yeah, sure. When I'm at my workspace, I should have it.
Yes.
I have it most of the time anyway.
But it doesn't just need to be at your work in your office. You can, the web system comes over the internet, so over your browser. So if you just type it into your browser, you can access that from anywhere on your mobile phone, on your iPad, your tablet, or on your desktop. It's all mobile friendly, so it will look nice, and you'll be able to use it on your phone as well, wherever you are.
Oh, that's a cool feature. I can work from anywhere and have a look at my dashboard then. Yeah.
Exactly.
This is just a sheer amount of possible uses that you don't, I mean, you can use it for anything that, well, at the point where you have the system installed, I'm sure that there will be more uses for it coming up.
Yes.
As you go, like, oh, we need to know more about this, and I can just tell them to make a new form, or I can just set it up myself, apparently.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Very cool. I had another note. Yeah, I mean, I see it's very useful. Could I actually try this for free first to have to get used to get used to it?
Yes. Let's go ahead now and set you up with a free trial. So that will be for 2 weeks, just to find out how you use the system. You can invite lots of other people in to get their feedback on it, and start thinking how you can use it in-house. So let's go ahead and do that. That would be great. Okay.
Sure, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us today and letting me record this. Yes, good luck for the future.
Thank you.